Daniel, can you hear me? Abdul Rafiq, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Good. Muhammad Asher, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Muhammad Asher, you see, we have to read this part about the different activities and practices of Islam during the Hajj, sorry. So there is a topic, importance of the rituals of Hajj in Muslim beliefs and practices. So the first thing is about Ihram. Page number is 292 with me. You might have a different page number.
Sir, last time we did this. We have to start from Talbiya.
Read from Ihram.
Okay, sir. Restrictions of Ihram. The pilgrim should faithfully observe
No,
all
no,
that.
no, not from the restriction, from the Ihram itself.
Okay, sir. Importance of rituals of Hajj in Muslim beliefs and practices. Ihram. Ihram is not only a kind of dress but a mark of believers' servitude and symbol of sacrifice in the way of Allah. The first basic rite of the pilgrimage is the ihram, which legally means entering upon the state of pilgrimage. Ihram is the dress of two sheets of unsewn white cloth for men. This is a very simple form of of a dress a pilgrim must wear in a place of his normal everyday clothes with the intention of performing Hajj or Umrah and abstaining from all things that are unlawful for those intending to perform Hajj or Umrah. For a woman, ihram is her ordinary dress. Ihram is the uniform for appearing in the court of the King of the universe, quite plain, informal, and free from decoration. It is on the one hand a mark of man's servitude, on the other a symbol of his sacrifice. This appearance of a pilgrim shows that he is nothing but a humble servant of Allah. He is indifferent to everything except the divine pleasure. He abandons all worldly luxuries, pleasures, adornments, and amusements, and is imbued with the spirit to sacrifice himself on a command of Allah. Moreover, when pilgrims from all corners of the world put off their ordinary dress and wear the sacred robe, the universal Islamic brotherhood becomes a visible reality.
Read for this.
Restrictions of Ihram. The pilgrim should faithfully observe all that Allah has made obligatory, such as the daily prayers at their proper time. He should avoid what Allah has prohibited, such as wrongdoing, quarreling, and committing sins. He should also guard against injuring the Muslims by deed or by word. Besides, he should abstain from the following acts: hunting and or aiding and abetting it, cutting a tree, marital relationship or its mention, cropping or shaving of hair, or paring, filling of nails, covering of head or face in any way whatsoever, use of gloves or socks, wearing of any kind of sewn clothes, using perfume either on dress or body, killing or even dislodging and throwing away lice.
So these are the general restrictions. What will happen if these are violated?
So then the Ihram's restrictions are broken. Then we have to sacrifice a goat after the Hajj, so then it will be accepted.
So you see, these are the restrictions during Ihram, and if intentionally these are violated, so to restore the authenticity or validity of Hajj or Umrah, that person is required to offer a sacrifice of a goat or a sheep. G. What is different for women?
Difference for women? What do you mean by sir?
You will read the next heading.
Okay, sir. Difference between the adoption of ihram by men and women. Women can wear sewn clothes. She can cover her head. However, she should not put on a veil in such a manner that the fabric may touch her face. She can put on socks or gloves. All the other things which are unlawful for a man are also unlawful for her.
Okay. So these are the restrictions of Ihram, and Ihram is the dress code for doing Hajj or Umrah. And from which point onwards we are required to put on ihram?
Sir, Mina.
Miqat.
Oh, sorry, Sir Mikad, yes.
We read further what the Haji people are required to do when they are in ihram. That is the next heading.
Sir Talbiya.
Yeah.
Talbiya. The slogan of pilgrims, I am present at the service, O Allah, thy service, O Allah, is the answer to the call made by Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam by the command of Allah and proclaim into mankind the pilgrimage. Chapter 22, verse 27. The following declaration is called Talbiya. Labbaik Allahumma labbaik, labbaik la sharika lak, labbaik innal hamda wa ni'mata wa tal mulk la sharika lak. I stand up for thy service, O Allah. I stand up, I stand up. There is no partner with thee. I stand up, I stand up. Verily thine is the praise and blessing and the kingdom. There is no partner with thee. Bukhari. As
What
soon
is
as the
PSWD?
Sir, this is a word used for Allah.
No, this PSEWD means you.
Oh, you, yes.
And similarly, you might have seen in the translation PHY, thy. Thy means your, THED means you, and sometimes you might have seen a word THOU, thou. Thou means you. These are the old languages, right? But they are used by the translators when they divine something, when they translate something divine.
Okay, sir.
They read for them.
As soon as the pilgrim says these words, he enters into the state of Ihram. Henceforth, he goes on repeating these words on every occasion, after every prayer, on ascending every height and descending every slope. At awakening, on meeting a caravan, in short, in all events, these words are at his lips. I stand up, O Allah, I stand up for thy service. Is not an empty slogan. It is an expression of a craving to submit oneself to Allah. It is a declaration that a humble servant is at the command of his master and submits to him. When the pilgrim from all corners of the world shout the same slogan, Talbiyah, they exhibit the strong and profound Islamic nationhood. They proclaim that the relationship of Islam is stronger than any other link. The real bond that unites them is the relationship of faith.
Okay. So sometimes in the paper they ask you to write about the belief and practices, right? Talbiya is a belief or a practice,
Sir, it is a practice.
and sometimes they ask you to write about the observances. Observances mean doing. So ihram is a belief or a practice or a observance.
Sir is an observant.
Yeah, right. Good, Shabat. So you have to identify what is a belief in it, what is a practice in it, and what is an observance in it, right?
Yes.
And sometimes they ask you to write about the places of Hajj. Yani what is Miqat? What is Kaaba? What is Black Stone? These are the places, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now the next is about the Holy Kaaba. And I will ask Abdur Rahman to read for us about Holy Kaaba. Tell us something from about Holy Kaaba. Abdur Rahman.
Sir, should I read?
Abdur Rahman, yes. First, tell me something about Holy Kaaba and then you will read.
Sir, Holy Kaaba is the first house of worship which is established for the Muslims to worship there, and it was built by Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam.
So first of all, it was built by whom?
Built by Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi built by Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam and Hazrat Ismail alayhi salam.
By the way, what did Adam do in this Kaaba? Did he do something or not?
Yes, sir.
What did he do?
Sir, he prostrated.
He?
Sir, he did sajda.
No, answer the construction we are talking about. What did he do here? Adam alayhi salam. You know demarcation? You know foundation?
Yes, sir.
So Adam alayhi Islam was the first to identify this place. This is a place where this Kaaba will be built. So, anything else, Abdurrahman, you know about Holy Kaaba? Or just read for us then from the book.
Okay, sir. Holy Kaaba. According to the Holy Quran, indeed the first house of worship established for mankind was at Makkah, full of blessing and guidance for the worlds. Allah has exalted the status of Holy Kaaba as my house. Every Muslim faces the direction of this house during his obligatory prayers. Non-Muslims are not allowed to enter this city. This city is made secure from any kind of aggression. Kaaba was constructed about 4,500 years ago by Prophet Ibrahim salam and his son, the Prophet Ismail salam. And when Ibrahim and Ismail were raising the foundations of the house, both the constructions of Kaaba and the selection of its site were decreed by Almighty Allah. And remember when we prepared for Ibrahim the place of the holy house, Kaaba. When the construction of this house was completed, both the prophets were ordered to proclaim that a pilgrimage to Holy Kaaba was a duty and proclaim unto mankind the pilgrimage. The purpose and significance attached to this house by Allah are made clear in the following verse of the Holy Quran. And when we made the house at Kaaba a resort for mankind and sanctuary, saying, take as your place of worship the place where Ibrahim stood to pray. Kaaba is pivotal point of all the rituals of Hajj, the essential rite of pilgrimage, that is, the Tawaf is performed around the Holy Kaaba. Moreover, it is repeatedly visited during the Hajj by the pilgrims. The Holy Kaaba is an embodiment of goodness and blessings. It is a fountainhead of guidance, a place of worship for the pious, and a center of the unity of Allah. 5 times a day, Muslims face the Holy Kaaba in their regular prayers, which marks the unity of the entire Muslim community the world over.
Ji, Abdurrahman, thank you very much for reading. And this Holy Kaaba is a practice or as a place of Hajj or as a belief or an observance?
Sir, what can you repeat?
You know, I said when I was talking while Asher was reading that sometimes the examiner, they ask you to write about the beliefs and practices of Hajj. Sometimes they ask you to write about the places of Hajj. And sometimes they ask you to write about the observances of Hajj. So this Holy Kaaba, what is Holy Kaaba? It's a belief, it's a practice, it is observance, or it is a place of Hajj?
Sir, it is place of Hajj.
It is one of the place, right? So now I will ask Muhammad Hassan Abid to read further. Muhammad Hassan Abid, can you hear me? Sayyid Bashir, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
So read for us about Hajr Aswad and tell something us if you know in advance.
Okay, sir. Sir, Tawaf. Going
Oh.
across.
That's Hajr Aswad.
Black answer, sorry. Okay. Hajr Aswad is the black stone placed on the southeastern corner of the Kaaba at the height of some 4 feet. According to a tradition, the stone is a gift of Almighty Allah sent from paradise. The holy stone was touched and kissed by the Prophet Ibrahim and the Holy Prophet Muhammad. pilgrims are required to pay reverence to this holy stone by kissing or saluting it after the completion of every single circulation of tawaf during Hajj and Umrah as a sign of obedience to the practice of the Prophet Ibrahim and the Prophet Muhammad, which when a pilgrim places his hand on the black stone Hajar Aswad, he feels if he is renewed his in submission and duties and ratified his commitment with Allah after placing his hands on the black stone. He kisses it. The gesture awakens in him another consciousness. He is reminded of the fact that Allah, whom is refreshing his conscience, is the real sovereign master. He alone deserves to be worshipped and loved. It is him, therefore, necessary to kiss the three marks of our love of Allah and determination to obey Him in all matters. Sir, done.
Nur Muhammad Khan, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
So read for us about tawaf.
Okay, sir. Allah has commanded for tawaf, circumambulation around his house. I circumambulate the ancient house. It is the sunnah of Prophet Ibrahim salam and Prophet Muhammad wasallam to go around the house as worshipping Almighty Allah. Tawaf consists of 7 circuits of the Holy Kaaba. Going around the Kaaba 7 times, commencing from the black stone and having the Kaaba on one's left is called tawaf. Allah commanded the believers in the Holy Quran and circumambulates the ancient house, the Holy Kaaba. Hazrat Ibrahim was commanded.
In which surah and which ayat this is mentioned?
Surah 22, ayat 29.
Okay.
And Hazrat Ibrahim was commanded by Almighty Allah, and sanctify my house of those who compass it round. Chapter 2, ayat 125. It is the sunnah of the Holy Prophet ﷺ to complete 7 circuits of the Holy Kaaba in Tawaf. The pilgrims march briskly, moving their shoulder with chest out in the first 3 circuits of the Tawaf, while the rest 4 circuits are normally performed. The Tawaf is one of the most important expressions of
Nur Muhammad, can you tell me what is this about the first 3 rounds and the last 4 rounds? What is mentioned here?
So in the first 3 rounds, our chest should be out, and like the ihram, our chest should be visible, and in the rest 4 it should be covered.
And in the first 3 rounds, the pilgrims are required to be briskly walking or kind of running with their chests up, male members particularly. But the first 3 rounds, they are required to walk, running like a walk or walk like running, and they should have their chest up. The first 3 rounds are called shoot, and the remaining 4 are called ramal. Anyway, there is a slight difference. If it is possible, then the first 3 rounds, the male members, the men, they should run or they should walk briskly. And in the last 4 rounds, they can walk normally. And in the first 3 rounds, it is must that their right shoulder must be uncovered. And in the last 4, they may cover both the shoulders. But in the first, one of the right shoulder must be uncovered. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Ji Nur Muhammad, read further.
The tawaf is one of the most important expressions of the believer's affection and strong attachment to God. It is an acknowledgement of worship to God, submission, and devotion to Him, as well as a reminder of the unity that keeps Muslims together. When a
Hmm.
vast multitude of pilgrims coming from different countries and consisting of various races and colors make the circuits with an unanimous appearance and spirit, it is a
Ji, what is this word?
yes, sir.
With an unanimous appearance.
Okay, with an unanimous appearance and spirit. It is a reaffirmation of the fact that as Allah is one and His religion is one. Similarly, all His true believers are one. Their apparent differences are but superficial. They have one focal point and one center. Their obedience and sacrifices are devoted for Allah and Allah alone.
Nur Muhammad, this tawaf is a belief or a practice or a observance or a place of Hajj.
Sir, practice.
It is a practice or observance.
Right.
Observance meaning what do we do? How we observe that? How we do that? Observe, did you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Read for us about different types of tawaf. And after reading, you will tell at your own what are these different types of tawaf. Do it.
There are certain types of tawaf. Tawaf-e Qudum. Pilgrims perform this tawaf on entering Masjid-e-Haram. Tawaf-e-Ziyara. It is one of the obligatory acts of the pilgrimage. This is also known as Tawaf-e-Ziyara. Tawaf-e-Wida. It is departing tawaf, which is compulsory for the pilgrims to perform before leaving. Mecca for their own country. This is also known as Tawaf Sadr. Besides these, there are two other types of Tawaf. Tawaf Nafila. This Tawaf can be performed at any time by the pilgrims. Tawaf Umrah. The obligatory Tawaf of Umrah is known as Tawaf Umrah.
So how many types of tawaf are there?
5.
Name them.
Tawaf Qudum, Tawaf Ziyara, Tawaf Wida, Tawaf Umrah.
एक आपने छोड़ दिया, ये क्या है?
And Tawaf Nafila.
नाफिला. तवाफ नफल से. This word is derived from word nafal. So which type of tawaf is obligatory for Hajj?
Tawaf Ziyara and Tawaf Wida.
Tawaf ziyara and tawaf wida. Okay. So now tell us what is this Sa'i, what is Safa Marwa? Read from the book.
Okay, sir. Safa and Marwa say. Safa and Marwa are the two hills which are declared by Allah as His symbols. Safa and Marwa are not only the two small hills, but they are the living signs of the Prophet Ibrahim's family, devotion, and pure love for Almighty Allah. Pilgrims run between these two hills 7 times. Safa and Marwa are the mountains which teach every believer to remain hopeful even at the time of extreme disappointment. Safa and Marwa teach the believers that Allah puts the pious people in more severe tests to grant them high reward. It is compulsory wajib for pilgrims to run between Safa and Marwa hills. If it is left out, penalty dam is to be paid in the form of sacrifice or sadaqah. Safa and Marwa are the two hills situated in the holy city of Mecca where the pilgrims run in between during the performance of Hajj and Umrah, which is known as Sa'i. Almighty Allah declares both these hills as His signs in the Holy Quran. Lo, the mountains as Safa and Al Marwa are among the signs of Allah. Chapter 2, verse 158. Safa and Marwa are the places where Hazrat Hajira Raziyallahu anha, the mother of Hazrat Ismail alayhi salam, ran for the search of water, and the fountain of Zamzam gushed forth near these hills. This effort of Hazrat Hajira Raziyallahu anha reveals that striving and seeking of material means is not contrary to the spirit of faith and reliance on God. Though Hazrat Hajar anha had the utmost trust in God, yet there was no room in it for inaction. She ran in search of water, and ultimately the blessed water of Zamzam was gifted. The ritual of running between mountains Safa and Marwa is an expression of the pilgrims' resolution that they remember the struggle of the noble Hazrat Hajra Radhiyallahu anha in the compliance with Allah's order, and will be ever ready for it.
Can you hear me, Abdurrahman?
Yes, sir.
How many times we have to go from Safa to Marwa, Marwa to Safa?
7 times.
And this is done in the memory of whom?
Hazrat Hajar anha.
This is the place. What is the place in it, and what is the practice in it?
Say is the practice, and Safa Marwa is the place.
And what is the belief in it?
Said that Hazrat Hajar ran between these two hills.
Oh, okay, good. So in the memory of her, we do that. Can you tell me, Abdurrafi, what activities of the Hajj the Muslims they do in the memory of the family of Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam?
Sir, they do tawaf and say.
Abdurrafi,
Yes, sir.
what activities of Hajj Muslims do in the memory of Hazrat Ibrahim and his family?
Sir, is the sacrifice counted?
Sacrifice or
Tawaf and say.
tawaf and sa'i. Tawaf, sa'i, and sacrificing the animal. That we do in the memory of Hazrat Ibrahim's family. Now, Abdullah Subhan, do you hear me? Abdullah Subhan,
Yes,
can you
sir.
hear me? Read for us about Zamzam. What is Zamzam is?
Zamzam is the blessed water gifted to the family of Hazrat Ibrahim and through them to every believer. It is the sunnah of Hazrat Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam, Ismail alayhi salam, and the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to drink its water. Thus, it is an act of worship and reward to drink its water with honor. Water of Zamzam is a cure and remedy for every disease. This fountain of water is the practical proof that Almighty Allah does not give up the hand of one who is ready to sacrifice everything for Allah. Zamzam is the name of the well in the southeastern side of Masjid Haram. This spring that feeds the well sprang up under the feet of Hazrat Ismail alayhi salam. when his mother Hazrat Hajra radiallahu anha was frantically searching for water for her infant son between the Safa and Marwa hills. From that time till present, millions and millions of people have drunk the water of this well, but there is no diminution of its water. It is sufficient for the whole mankind and for all generations to come. There is propitiousness in it as well as health and reward. According to the Holy Prophet ﷺ, for whatever object Zamzam water is drunk, the same is achieved.
What is it?
Therefore,
Can you tell me something about this line? Read this line again, beta, and tell me something. According to the Holy
according to
Prophet.
the Holy Prophet ﷺ, for whatever object Zamzam water is drunk, the same is achieved.
What is this? What is the meaning of this line? Can you tell or I should tell?
I don't know.
Can you tell it? Can you tell something? Anyone in this class?
Sir, is it that if we drink this water with the intention of receiving health, so we will get health?
Okay, whatever you will intend while you drink, you will get that. This is the meaning of this line. And when you drink this Zamzam, whatever intention you will have, that will be granted. Muhammad Ashar Nadeem, you are right.
Okay,
Read Abdullah Sabah, read further.
Therefore, one should ask Allah what he or she wants while drinking the water. The Zamzam water is drunk in a standing position, unlike other water. This is a regard given to it because of its association with the Prophet Ismail alayhi salam. Allah has kept lots of blessing in the water of Zamzam, including the cure of diseases.
Jazakallah khair, boys, for all that your contribution, and I hope you are now have the better understanding about all these activities, places, beliefs, and observances of the Hajj. So, inshallah, we will continue to discuss the remaining part of the topic, and we will discuss it further. And afterward, we will share the mark scheme and rest of the things we will, of course, complete in the due time. So thank you very much, boys. See you again, inshallah. May Allah bless you all. Thank you very much. Take a good care of yourself. Thank you.
Allah Hafiz, sir.
Allah Hafiz.